Hi folks, welcome to Crisco's Corner. Unfiltered commentary. Not your truth, the real truth. Please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for your support. Welcome back from Fox News. CNN under fire for Chris Cuomo's role in New York Attorney General finds brother sexually harassed multiple women. CNN enabled this sexual miscreant. Whoa. That's the Attorney General of New York calling the governor a miscreant. Whoa. Actually, probably more appropriate is, I hate to make light of it. I mean, nobody was, there wasn't any RAPE or anything like that. It's just more mental probably than anything else, but still sucks. But why, as these, at CNN, MSNBC, all these mainstream media people, they're self-destructive. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I say this tongue-in-cheek, all guys are pigs. But, some of us control what we control. And it's amazing to me. It's amazing to me. Anyway, before I say anything that I'll get myself in trouble over, let's read on. CNN is under fire for allowing Cuomo primetime namesake Chris Cuomo to go unpunished for advising his big brother and battle Democratic Governor Andrew Cuomo not to step down amid sexual misconduct allegations that a probe concluded the governor indeed sexually harassed multiple women. Attention CNN, do not allow Chris Cuomo on the air unless he objectively covers the sexual harassment charges against Governor Cuomo, a.k.a. his brother, Fox News contributor Leo Terrell wrote. Now, does Chris Cuomo have a right to tell his brother privately, I'm your brother, here's my advice, don't resign? Yeah. I'll give him that. New York Attorney General Letitia James announced Tuesday that an investigation of sexual harassment allegations against Governor Cuomo, which included interviews with 179 people, found that Cuomo harassed current and former staff members from 2013 to 2020. Now, I got to say, honestly, I live in upstate New York. I live in New York State. I used to be involved in local politics for a long time. I was a Democrat my whole life until 2013. I'm 64. I'll be 65 this November. And I was a local city councilman. So I used to hear some of the chit chat as far as local politicians go. Some elected officials out of Albany. Tell you the truth, Andy Cuomo wasn't really that popular amongst the Democrats, especially the liberal ones. I take that back. Liberal has a new meaning now. The progressive leftists. He wasn't that well liked in the party. It's more like a legacy thing, being his dad used to be governor. He's not the most likable guy. I mean, I can be an SOB sometimes too, but God, the guy he's got the personality of an egg. It's my grandmother's old saying. But so I'm surprised that it took this long, frankly. Anyway, let's read on. Back in May, CNN's most popular host issued an apology to his colleagues after it was reported that he offered political advice to his brother. CNN admitted that its primetime host engaged in inappropriate strategy meetings with the embattled governor's team earlier this year as he faced multiple allegations of sexual harassment and unwanted touching. Now, inappropriate strategy meetings with the governor's team. It's his brother. How do you, he does work for CNN. I'm not going to defend Chris Cuomo because I think he's a big pile of blank. But you can advise your brother. I don't have a problem with that. But you have to keep it neutral on the air, and that's not what he does. A stunning Washington Post report revealed that CNN anchor joined conference calls with top aides of the governor as charges of harassment mounted and prompted calls from both sides of the aisle for his resignation. Sources told the paper that younger Cuomo urged his brother to to not step down and even invoke cancel culture at talking point the governor used back in March while engaging with reporters. At the time, CNN acknowledged Chris Cuomo's involvement to Fox News, but said he would not be disciplined for his conduct. Now, here's the question. I'm not going to defend Chris Cuomo at all, or Andy. Forget it. They both suck. But here's the thing. Whether he's in a conference call with the governor's team, as they say, or he's talking to his brother one-on-one privately, as brothers talk, what the hell's the difference? It's what he does on the air in CNN that really matters. He makes light of everything. He covers for his brother when he's on CNN on the air. That's the only important thing. Giving his brother talking points in private or with his governor's team is really the same thing. I'm not defending him, but what he does in his job on the air is most important. By allowing Chris Cuomo to keep his job and not facing suspension for advising his brother not to apologize and push on, CNN enabled this sexual miscreant, the governor of New York, Newsbusters managing editor Chris Houck tweeted. He can give advice to his brother, good, bad, or indifferent. Chris Cuomo's a piece of crap. So is his brother. What do they call that? Fredo incident? Remember with the video with Fredo was going to punch the guy out? CNN, good luck lecturing people about decency and doing the right thing. I agree. But going after him for advising his brother on what to do is what brothers do. Now, what he does on the air, you can chastise him for. And what he says publicly as a somewhat celebrity or we'll call it authority figure, for lack of a better term, Chris Cuomo, yeah, chastise him for that. But what he says privately to his brother, sorry, guys. Let's go back to the meat of the case. CNN admits Chris Cuomo inappropriately provided brother advice. What's inappropriately provided advice? That one I don't get. I'm sorry. Governor Cuomo should resign, and his brother proposed journalists who advise him on strategy regarding these allegations step down or be fired from position at CNN. Yes, Andrew Cuomo should resign. But here's the problem. I'm a New York resident. I live in upstate. For those of you who aren't familiar, this is nowhere near New York City in distance, in miles, or in culture. New York State might as well be Mars compared to Earth. So it's like Northern California and San Francisco. It just doesn't quite jive. Or far as Southern California and Los Angeles, it doesn't jive. They're totally different areas, totally different cultures. Should Chris Cuomo step down for advising his brother? No. Chris Cuomo should step down because he sucks. He should be fired because his ratings suck. His show is tanking, so is CNN. Hulk also confused how a CNN legal analyst claimed the findings were shocking. It sucks, the whole thing. I mean, we're going to get some tweets here, and I'm not going to read them all. You can stop the video. Here's one from Meghan McCain, who I used to like a lot, still do, but I wonder with her anymore. But anyway, don't ever forget, while Andy Cuomo was killing elderly people and horrifically sexually abusing women, this is how he was interviewed on CNN, a comedy show with giant Q-tip props. Megan, I agree. Absolutely. That's what I meant by, here's the problem. Not advising his brother privately, not advising maybe some of his team on what to do. I mean, you ask your brother for advice, that happens. What do you call him? The Love Gov or some damn thing on the giant Q-tip. Remember that crap? And he did just because they didn't want to make Donald Trump look good. When they put that hospital in there, I believe it was the Army and the Navy. They had the floating hospital ship outside of New York as well as the Javits Center. What is it, 10, 15% of the beds were filled? Meanwhile, they were cramming in COVID patients into senior centers. I'm sorry. You could have used those facilities. Taxpayer wasted dollars to try to help you, and you wouldn't take it because it gave Donald Trump some credit. I played a lot of there's politics I've been involved in a lot of times in upstate New York here at the local level, but having people die because you don't want to give somebody you don't like credit to win an election or lose an election that's actually way worse than the sexual harassment. I'm sorry. And I'm wondering how those cases are going to make out. I know there's one Fox weather person, I forget if she's from New York, that she lost both of her in-laws because of his policies. I'm sorry, it's true. And this is where I take exception to, and Chris Cuomo made light of it on his show. That's where I think he should be fired for, not telling his brother advice off the air privately. Oh, God, it's unbelievable. You fluffed his ego so much he thought he'd get away with it. I don't think his ego could have got any bigger. Tune in at CNN tonight to hear Chris Cuomo not discuss any of this. Yeah, that's just pretty good. Crystal ball is pretty funny. Oh, God. Yeah, he advised his brother. I mean, I don't know why. You should fire Chris Cuomo because he sucks. You should fire Chris Cuomo because his ratings are in the toilet. I have a brother. If he was accused of this or that, he'd ask me for advice. I'd probably give it to him, but I don't know. Chris Cuomo was initially prevented by CNN when he joined in 2013 from covering his brother, but the network lifted the ban for their often mocked coronavirus interview sessions in 2020. Their banter was a ratings boom for Cuomo, but media observers said it was improper from a journalistic perspective. That I agree. What he does on the air concerning his brother is why he should be fired. CNN did not immediately respond when asked if Chris Cuomo would be allowed to cover his brother Tuesday night amid the breaking news. Yeah, I'll go back to Crystal Ball's tweet here. What is this? This is a good one. Tune in to CNN tonight to hear Chris Cuomo not discuss any of this. Unbelievable. Harassed multiple women and doing so violated federal and New York state law. It's, will he be prosecuted? Probably not. It's tough proving this stuff. It really is. I mean, it's arrogance, frankly. I'm a single guy. I understand you're older. You ask young women out, I get it. But I don't know what else to say. I mean, if you do it over a 7-year period, I would assume when he was married to, not cool. Not cool at all. But that's his personal life. Now, people that work for him, there's an old expression, you don't crap where you eat. In other words, you don't ask people out. You don't hit on women, so to speak, in the workplace, especially if they work for you or you're in a position of authority. What are the rules? Asking somebody out, I don't think it's sexual harassment. If they work for you or you're in a position of authority in that company and you like someone, personality, you like their looks, how they carry themselves, ask them out in the QT and they say no, is the person under obligation to go out with you because something might happen to them? You know, it's a mess. It's a mess, and these things have been going on in human behavior and socially for decades, hundreds of years. So I guess it just depends. I don't know the details. But when you have the Attorney General of the state of New York, who's a Democrat, staunch Democrat, call you a miscreant, and the report should be interesting. Should be interesting. And I wonder if it's publicly available yet. And if it hasn't, it should be. We'll see what happens. But I'll tell you the truth. All these Democrats that didn't play by the rules, that didn't show a bit of decency, a bit of respect for any of our institutions or even our country and our history and our heritage. All they care about is power and control and money. The worm is starting to turn. Things are starting to come back around on them. And I hope this is just the beginning of a long list of Democrats that are just chucked like so much garbage. So the Democrat Party can clean itself up, pick itself up from the ashes, and start over and become a viable, decent, party again. Until next time, goodbye and good luck.